All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another video. All right, y'all, I've been meaning to do this video like a couple weeks ago or last week, but, just been really busy with life, a lot of stuff going on. So I didn't get around to doing it as quick as possible. But, hey, look, I'm going to do it today before the end of the year because we're already here, man, December 31st, 2023. And I know a lot of boxing channels and media outlets are already giving their boxer of 2023. And there's been a bit of a debate. That's why I wanted to do this video, because a lot of people are debating here, on different websites and boxing groups on who the fighter of the year should be. And I know, a week ago, Naoya Inoue was able to cap his career off this year with a undisputed crown, which makes him now a two-division undisputed champion, much like Bud Crawford. So a lot of people feel like, he deserves 2023 Fighter of the Year honors, and they're giving it to him. It was an active year. He fought 2 times. Earlier this year, he was able to dominate Stephen Fulton, which, really good fight. And then win undisputed against Tapales, right? Marlon Tapales won the, WBA and IBF belts from Tapales. Yeah. So definitely good way to cap off 2023 for him. Shout out to Inoue. I think he's a good fighter, but to me, 2023 Fighter of the Year should be clearly Terence Bud Crawford, for a number of reasons. But number one, Spence Crawford was considered to be the biggest fight in the welterweight division of the past 10, 15 years, right? She was probably considered to be the biggest fight in the past decade, right? Everybody was talking about this fight. There was a lot of heavyweight in this fight. You had Errol Spence Jr. considered to some second or third in pound for pound, or somewhere in the top 10 pound for pound. He held 3 of the belts. Dangerous fighter. His resume was solid, beat the best welterweights out there, took all his belts from champions. And then you had Terence Bud Crawford, multi-division world champion, a former undisputed champion, considered to be one of the best boxers in the world. It was always between him and Lomachenko. To me, it was always him as number one, Terence Crawford, right? So putting these two in the ring together, this year, and the way people were, just really, really hounding and begging for this fight, and the way it was being talked about because of everything that was coming together in this, it just all spells whoever the winner is should be Fighter of the Year, especially with how they win the fight, because both fighters are considered to be dangerous and skilled warriors, and they held multiple belts, right? So to me, when you put champ versus champ and you have these two titans in the ring, whoever comes out with the most dominant performance, to me, should be Fighter of the Year. And I'm a guy that loves to see fighters fight more than once a year, right? I love to see a guy fight 2 to 3 times a year. But for this particular fight, I felt like with what these guys have accomplished, around the other years and what this fight stood for, to me, that kind of canceled out any other fights. You know what I mean? Like, for them, like, this was the biggest fight that they could make at this point. They have already fought everybody else. They had common opponents. Errol already cleaned out the division. He had the 3 belts. Crawford had the other one that he defended multiple times by knockout, right? By knockout. So there were so many questions. Will he defend it by knockout against Errol? Will Errol cap this year off with his 4th belt? Will he dominate Spence? Will he dominate Crawford? So many questions that needed to be asked and answered in this fight. So many questions that needed to be answered in this fight, which was telling me that whoever wins this fight, especially in the fashion that they do, means Fighter of the Year, right? I've already seen that for myself. And with what Terence Crawford did to Errol Spence, how he did it in such a brutal fashion, such a brutal technical win. You can watch this from all these different angles on how he just took Errol apart in there and destroyed him in 9 rounds and dropped it 4 times. To me, that just shows you who the Fighter of the Year is. The year of the Fisherman. It's Bud Crawford, right? It has to be Bud Crawford, because when you compare it to what Inoue did this year, of course, Inoue fought good fighters. Boxing, it's a dangerous sport all around. But to me, Inoue, he did something spectacular, but he did it in a year when Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were having, their matchup, which to me just outweighed his undisputed fight. It just outweighed it, because this fight just stood for so much more. And it's a higher weight with, higher risk, a guy with 2 guys who have, both good resumes, Hall of Fame worthy fighters right here. So to me, what Terence Crawford was able to do and his particular performance, it just outweighs it. Again, I would love to see him fight more fighters this year, but, this one fight says it all. They already fought everybody else, right? So fighter of the year to me has to be Bud Crawford. And not just from that performance, but just because of the lifestyle too. The Fisherman, man, like this guy, he's always out there working on his craft. Even while the drama was going on, he was still staying in fighting shape. He wasn't overtraining, but he was living the boxer lifestyle. And that's why I always talk about, the difference between Crawford and Errol. And I know I thought Errol would win this fight. Well, I picked him more like a fan pick because he was the underdog, and I wanted to see him get his 4th belt. It was his division. I wanted to see it in that fashion. I like both fighters, but if I had to pick, I said, okay, this guy's been here longer, let him get it. But the IQ in me was saying, now, Crawford has the ability to go in there and outbox him, right? And he could do that. But as far as how he did it, I didn't see that coming, all right? But, yeah, when you compare these two, Errol Spence, he's a fighter. Errol Spence, he's definitely a fighter. He's a tough guy. He'll fight anybody. But as far as just like living that educated boxing lifestyle, I never really seen him doing that the same as Terence Crawford. Always honing his skills and perfecting his skills, staying close to weight, making sure he's careful about what goes in his body. Errol, he kind of blows up, and he does drink. He does indulge in other things. So he kind of lives that prize fighter lifestyle. When you get that money, you start doing other things. Of course, he does the farming and the horse thing, which is cool. I like that part, but he still does some of the rapper lifestyle out there, whereas Terence Crawford, he stays close to his weight. He stays strong. Like I said, he's always working on his skills and just living that fighter lifestyle. And that's something that Terence Crawford, while he's boxing and while he's in this game, he's always going to be living that lifestyle. And he's going to be living that lifestyle. And that's what kept him ready for this fight. He was playing the game of chess outside of the ring. He's playing that game outside of the ring too, because like Bomac said, the longer they push this fight out, they're giving Bud a great chance to win this fight because he's going to keep filling out and get stronger for this division. And that's what happened. That night he came in muscular, physically strong. Spence wasn't able to move him or even hurt him with any of his shots. Every shot that Crawford threw was, with pinpoint accuracy and just hurting Errol Spence. Now, I know everybody says Errol was off that night, but hey, like I said, if you don't live the lifestyle, that's a part of the game too. Lifestyle is a part of how you go into the ring. Training, of course, that's a part of it, but the lifestyle of year-round, how you take care of your body is how you're going to get your results as well. And that's what Terence Crawford did. He showed that he was the better fighter, the more disciplined fighter, and he got the victory. So, yeah, 2023 fighter goes to none other than Bud Crawford to me. Errol Spence, still a warrior. And again, with this fight, it just shows you that, Terence Crawford, he was able to play that game and show who the best fighter was by, bringing it all together for this one final exam. I know in the past, his few fights made him look a little vulnerable, but he kind of showed everybody up here, made everybody look bad and proved them wrong by saying, look, I'm going to go in here, final exam, everything's done. Cross those T's, dot those I's, boom, and he got it done. And with this fight, he opened up the doors for him now. He's opened up big money fights, to kind of cap his career off, maybe look for a 3rd undisputed crown at 154. Canelo, which I don't think he should do that fight. The rematch with Errol, which I don't think he should do that fight, well, for Errol's sake, right? So just a lot of doors open off of this fight. And again, it just capped off one of the biggest matches of the year and answered that question that everybody wanted to see. Answer that question everybody needed answered. So, yeah, that's my fighter of the year. I think it has to be Terence Crawford. No knock to Inoue. Inoue's definitely riding close behind him for what he's able to do to Stephen Fulton, and undisputed 2 times. That means a lot. That means a lot in the sport of boxing. So, yeah, he's definitely right there. If he can do that again next year and just keep it going and become a 3rd undisputed, shoot, fighter of the year for him, right? But, yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. Like I said, I just wanted to come through and drop this one real quick. Wanted to do it sooner, but a lot of family stuff going on. If y'all want to know what I'm talking about, go to my other channel, Combo Breaker 99. But, I'm going to be trying to come back to this channel, be a little more consistent this year. Hopefully, you know, life happens. And like I always say, you know, boxing is life. You know, they're very similar. Sometimes you get knocked down, but you got to get back up. You got to find out what you did wrong, or even if you didn't do anything wrong, sometimes it just don't go your way. You get clipped from the blind side. Got to get back up, right? That's how it's been right now. This past year has been crazy, and it has been one of them fighting years for me, man. But like I said, you know, I'm going to stick it out, keep it going. Got some new subscribers over here, a little over 900. Let's keep it going to 1,000 and keep it moving. I'll start doing more lives and everything, guys. But yeah, who's y'all's fighter of the year for 2023? Let me know in the comment section. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.